Hello and welcome. Welcome to a very special edition of CPR's Clubhouse Live. Joining me for the Caribbean, we got Phillip Anthony with us. Actually, Phillip Anthony is double trouble, double feature, double threat. Well, a double threat, right? Because not only was he a freestyle artist, but he's also now a comedian, and he wears many hats. So, as I stated before, that I was going to go live and discuss. Well, you're not wearing a hat right now. Yes, I get it. But, we're trying to have a discussion about my post, my controversial post that I had. I'm gonna put it up here, and I'll let you read it, Phil. Put your glasses on because you're joining me from the Caribbean, and you can go ahead and let me know what you think when you read something like that.
Okay. Am I supposed to be seeing something?
You didn't see anything? You don't see it?
No, I don't see anything.
Okay, then I can read it to you if you want.
Yeah, that might work.
So it says you're a new artist and you're asking for $2,000 a show, and then the question is, how many people can you guarantee are coming to see you perform? Once you get this $2,000. So what do you think about an artist asking for $2,000 a show?
Well, if it's a new artist, just that the fact that they're asking for that alone tells you how new they are. There's a lot of things that go into putting a show together, and first of all, your venue's got to hold enough people for that to make sense, and you've got to be able to draw enough people for that to make sense. So I'm not only, I'm a comedian. I produce comedy shows,
right?
And there are a lot of comedians who are worth $2,000 and more. And
right. Can you name a couple, if you don't mind?
And those people I won't book.
Yeah, exactly. But can you name the $2,000?
Not that I won't book them. I can't. Realistically, I can't. Keeping my ticket price at, I like to keep it at a decent amount, so it's not too much for anybody to come out, but I want them to have a great time. So $20 a ticket, that's fine. Now $20 a ticket, if I get 100 people in that room, that means this new artist takes all the money.
Right.
So I lose any money I used in, printing any materials. I lose any money I did promoting. I don't make any money for the night.
Right.
So why am I bringing you out here?
Exactly. So now that's in a comedian's forum, right? Same thing for a freestyle artist, because we're using the similar venue. The venue holds about 200 people. The artist is asking for $2,000, and so now we got to hustle to see if we can come up with a gimmick to be able to make that $2,000 back, and also deal with other expenses. Whether it be printing flyers, whether it be paying staff members, whatever it is. But let's back up for 1 second and welcome everyone who's coming in to CPR's Clubhouse Live. We're live on social media right now, and we're discussing my post yesterday in regards to new artists asking for $2,000 for their shows. Now, an artist could ask for whatever they want for their show. Whether they're going to get it is different, right? And what I wanted to say is, if you do get it, you're going to end up killing the room. So
you can. What I would suggest for a new artist is be a little less short-sighted.
Right.
So let's say you get that $2,000. Let's say you go over there and you get the $2,000. They book you. You're not going to fill that room. You don't have a strong enough following to fill that room, especially if it's not in your own city, right? So you don't have that following. Now, that booker is never going to book you again.
Right.
Never. Now, you ask for a decent amount. You're a new artist. Respect that. There's levels to this shit, right? There's levels. Recognize what level you are. Be humble. Be realistic. Ask for the right amount of money that's comfortable for you, so that you're not losing any money. I'm not saying go do a free show, although sometimes we've all done it. We all had to pay our dues, right?
Right.
But figure out a number that makes sense. Okay. Think about the long run. Go over there. They'll be happy with what they paid you.
Right.
They'll be happy with the turnout, and then they'll book you again.
Yeah.
So is your plan to get booked one time everywhere, or is your plan to just keep getting booked and make this, live this as long as you can?
So we also have to preserve the area that is trying to book us as well, right? So I do everything in my power to preserve the New England area. When it comes to freestyle shows, I want to be fair with the artists, but I also want them to know that, on a weekly basis, we are promoting them, for 52 weeks out of the year, for no compensation. And there is a value to that because there's no FM radio stations clamoring to play new freestyle music. Now, I want to preface it by saying there's not a bigger advocate for new freestyle music than CPR Jose Ortiz. I've been fighting since I got to 90.7. To any station that I've been in, I've fought to play good quality new freestyle content, because as soon as you walk into a radio station, they want to hear classics. They don't give a crap about anything that has to do with new artists. You can attest. Another hat that he's worn before, Phillip Anthony, is that he was an on-air personality on our radio station at one point in time. So
6 years.
Yeah, right. So that's 6 years. I spent 25 plus at the radio station. So when I first got there, I was bringing in all the new freestyle content, and my predecessors, even though they were supportive, they just were trying to slow me down and say, "Hey, you don't play everything new. You have to put some classic stuff." I said, "No, I'm the new guy. You know what I mean? And you got to listen to this. You got to listen to this." And I would try to have meetings with them to promote good quality freestyle content. And whether I killed the area or not, it remains to be seen. I think the bad quality freestyle that came out of these compilations from the area are the ones that killed the area. But I digress. There was a big point in time where you would leave your home, go to downtown Springfield, and you would hear freestyle playing on the radio. As a matter of fact, the person that's co-hosting with me this week, Phillip Anthony, you will hear his song down Main Street in the North End in Springfield to check it.
It was an incredible feeling the first time.
Yeah, it's a great thing. And I've also been the person in the forefront wanting to have people come to see freestyle shows featuring strictly new artists. So I am the advocate for new freestyle music. I am the advocate for new quality freestyle music right now in 2021, and I've been doing it all along. When I post something like this, it's supposed to be educational. It's not supposed to be an argument, and it's not supposed to be an attack on someone. This was a general statement that I made. If I'm giving you $2,000, how many people can you guarantee me are going to show up to see you? And the bottom line is that social media is different than real life. And what's been going on recently with freestyle is that you get a person that gets all the hype on social media talking about, I've been added to this station, I'm crossover hit, or they're on social media saying, my song is number one, and they convince a promoter. Sometimes that promoter is a fan trying to become a promoter to book a venue in their state, and they end up going to that state, and then no one shows up. It's an empty building. There's no one there. And we can talk about the Texas show if we want to, because there's pictures circling around that they sent to my inbox that showed there was less than 20 people there. Whether that's before the night started or after or whatever, that's beside the point. The point is that now that promoter is out money because they lost, and they probably paid a pretty penny to the artist that came to perform, paid for flights and all that stuff, and it was a dead night. So now that's over and done with. That's one and done promoter. They're not coming back for more. And if they do, they're going to book people in that area or closer to them, or they're going to fix the wage gap that these people are trying to have right now in our community.
So here's my thoughts on that too, because I'll always play devil's advocate.
Right.
I'm a Libra. I like to be level and fair. A lot of that's on the promoter too. If I'm gonna promote a comedy show, so when I promote my comedy shows here, 9 times out of 10, they don't know the comedians I'm bringing out.
Right.
And I say that because in the world we live in, right, if you know the comedian's name, I probably can't afford it.
Right.
You're talking, people who know comedians. That these are guys who are doing theaters and arenas, and I'm doing clubs and smaller venues. So 200, 300, like that kind of stuff. I'm not doing thousands and thousands of things. So if I'm gonna book somebody, I generate my audience myself. I'm the promoter. If I'm wearing that hat, right? I'm playing that role. It's my job, not the artist, to get them in there. In music, you want the artist to have a draw. You do. And in comedy too, but typically you want the artist to have a draw. You want them to have a following. That's why you're booking them.
Right.
But so if I'm a promoter and I'm investing money now, I'm not giving somebody $2,000 and then going, "Don't worry, I got this."
Right.
Like I want to know why I'm giving you 2,000. What are you bringing to the table? What kind of show are you bringing me? How many songs do you have?
Right.
Who's listening to your songs? Like let me see what this is happening. Maybe I like your song. Maybe even I like your song.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna find out in my area who knows these people, who knows this artist, who likes this artist, who would come see this artist. So I'm gonna do some research before I go and book them.
Right.
So if they book them and pay them that money, hey, they got the money. But that's on the promoter. The
Right.
promoter
And,
did
and
it.
that's understood. But you can only take that promoter for a ride so many times. And
Right.
the concern is you already canceling an area that could have prospered. So we have done things the correct way here in New England, especially in our area where we sit down and we sat down and said no to many people when we've done shows together. You know, a person's like, oh, I want $1,000 for what? So you can get out of your couch for 10 minutes. You want me to give you $1,000 and you're going to just walk to the venue, do your show and go home. I'm like, you're local, you're here. I know you have a lot of songs, but we have to work together to preserve the area. It's I say 200 capacity club. Some of them are 100, some of them are 3, some of them are more. But it's the new artist mentality now that they're hot, they're happening now, and they have to get paid now. That they're not thinking the long term picture, and they don't think about growing that area. We've grown this area exponentially over the years. It died down. Now we're trying to grow it again. I don't want to lose what we have now because of the fact that people are just trying to overshoot. I wanted to have also the owner of a club that we frequent and that we use, and it's part of Freestyle Fridays Live. I wanted to call Freddie and have him come here, but I would ask him this question, and he'll probably laugh me off the show because he knows the monetary situation that you need to have to
Well,
pay
he
that
knows
money.
he knows all the stuff that a lot of the artists don't think about. He knows how much it costs just to open his doors and turn the lights on.
Right.
He knows how much it costs to have staff members in there, to have security in the building, to how much so he can stock his bar. He knows what all the expenses are. People to clean the club before the event, people to clean the club after the event.
Right.
There's a whole lot of stuff that people don't think about.
Right. But
And
and all
that's
the
his
freestyle
job.
artist thinks about is, oh, I'm hot. My
No,
song is being played on the radio. It was number one on CPR's Freestyle Countdown. That's all they care about. They don't think about like, yes, it took me a while to build you into something that somebody wants to listen to, but now it's time to bring you here. And yes, man, we'll pay for your hotel room, we'll pay for your expenses, but $2,000, and they don't understand either that with that $2,000, that's their salary, right? That doesn't include the transportation part, the hotel, and other accommodations. And then when they get to the bar, they want to drink for free, right? And then they want to bring 6, 7 people with them to come in. You know what I mean? So that artist is already at $3,000 because they already have amenities and writers that they don't deserve because they haven't earned. But now they want to add to it.
they don't know that. They don't know that. And kudos to them for trying, right? Like, if I'm gonna ask you for $1,000 and you're gonna give it to me, right? I'm gonna take it. But you know, try and think more long run, right? I could do a show and charge $100 a ticket and fill the place up and make a ton of money, right? But how many times are people going to come back to that show? No matter how good it is.
Right.
They can't afford that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the same thing with this. You're going to charge all that money. Are you bringing something worth to the table that's worth $2,000? Is the promoter going to make money or is going to lose money? Is the promoter ever going to book you again? May not even book your friends,
right,
or your colleagues, the other artists. Mm-hmm. That's it. You just killed that venue. They're no longer looking at freestyle. They're impressing the freestyle. It doesn't bring any people. We did it. We brought this artist who we thought was hot, and nobody showed up. So, it's about building that longevity with the music, trying to build a relationship with these promoters, these cities, these DJs, these stations, everyone who's supporting you. Build that relationship with them. You know what? If you'll get there, the old school people, they charge that kind of money.
Right.
You know what? But they had songs on the radio, all right, on Hot 97.
They have songs that people know.
They have classic songs. They live in an era. They have the luxury of living in an era and being living classics.
Right.
That's why they can charge that money. Their shows are crafted, choreographed, and their outfits. They dress like artists.
Well, let's not go there because that's next. But I'm gonna pay you $2,000, and they're gonna come dressed like they're going to a barbecue, right?
Right.
They're dressed like stars.
Here's the simplest way, right? Maybe that's above people's level to say you're not dressed like a star. But I heard this from someone. It was the simplest shit you could think. Right. All right. If you're on stage, just look better than them. Mm-hmm. Those people got dressed to come out to this club to see you. Just look better than they do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Show up dressed up. They're dressed. So show up like you care. You know what I mean?
And again,
don't be somebody like, oh, who's this guy? He came underdressed. Oh, he's the artist.
When you recall back to Dream Girls night with Cynthia and the ladies, I had the suit on. It was nice, firm fit. You know what I mean? I could actually button the suit. That whole entire getup was $10. You know what I mean? And that's because I got the Kohl's coupons. But you wouldn't have known if I wouldn't have made the joke about it. But the point is I looked the part because I was hosting. It was our show that we had put together to bring back freestyle, and we're bringing the Dream Girl Cynthia to the venue. So if I'm getting dressed, then the artists that I'm booking who want this amount of money should be professionally, dressed. They should be ready to go and looking good. I came up here briefly with you because the struggle, and now everyone who's on social media is trying to rewrite the rules, right? They're trying to say, don't listen to what these guys have to say because, we don't need that. But also, what I noticed is that the attachment, a new artist will attach themselves to a more successful artist, suck the life out of them, right? Use them to fight their battles. And then they'll attack them after, that 3-month span where the friendship is there really strong. And then
they learn some stuff about it and then about the person and they use it later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. You know what I mean? That's why my circle is very small.
Yeah. And so mine has become very small too. And I know that there's people that are very into this conversation. Javier is writing a booklet here because he sees it as well. So big shout outs go out to Luis Rodriguez, Javier Rosario, Heriberto Osorio, and everybody who's joining us live. Big shout outs to Angel L. Cruz, Mr. ALC.
Hope you're feeling better, man.
I just brought him a gallon of milk. I hope that you enjoy that, sir. It was lactate, the good stuff. No gas, but it was a really, really what do you call that?
Wait.
Social distancing.
I know, but wait, you said lactate, no gas. So if I drink lactate, no pills?
No pills, no. There's lactate. There's no lactose in it.
I didn't know that.
You're supposed to have pills with lactate.
I know it doesn't give you like the stomach ache. I didn't know you don't get the...
Well, the stomach ache is the gas, sir. But anyways, congratulations on finding that out now.
I was today years old.
Today years old, right? So again, it's a situation where it's educational, and the thing is that people in freestyle now want to act like they're freestyle woke, but they don't want to be freestyle educated. You know, woke and educated are two different things. People that are woke, they don't want to listen to anything that anybody has to say. People that are educated will sit down and at least take something away from the conversation, right? And so the first thing people did when I put this post up is like, oh, he's talking about somebody, you know? No, it's a general statement. If I wanted to talk about someone, I would talk about someone.
Well, the other side of that is that, you know, when you see people defending them, they need to know there's a difference between being kind and enabling.
Right.
You know, there's behaviors that are that's been hurting this music for years. There are behaviors that, you know, make this this genre of music a joke.
Right.
And, you know, people trying to have a kind heart enable that behavior.
Right.
You know, of putting out subpar quality, you know, subpar, you know, products, you know, low quality music, you know, not thinking about what the song's actually saying. The lyrics are cheesy. The music isn't good. The people can't really sing that well.
Right.
And you know what? If they can't sing that well, then you know what? Then it needs to be well produced, like Phillip Anthony was. You know what I mean? Like there's things you do. So
Friends, we gotta go.
you respect the music, right? You respect the music, and they're not doing these things. So then the other side, people are like, no, but you know, yeah, that's dope, or that's, yo, just keep going, and yeah, keep going. But look, it's not ready yet.
Right.
It's not ready. And you know, I've always said that first impression is everything. And
right.
You know, if that's the first time I hear freestyle and it's your song, is this something that I'm gonna want to hear again? Is this something that I'm gonna go, damn, I want to hear more of this music? And there's a lot of stuff out there that's not. I mean, bro, yeah, it's so bad.
I always see these freestyle social climbers, right? The ones that come in, either they're a fan, either they're an artist, either they're something, and then they become something else instantly on social media, because you can be whoever you want on social media, and again, that's fine. But you know, I feel that I went to school for this, and then I became a trainer for the radio station that I work for. And then, you know what I mean? I look for talent. I hone talent. I give them notes. You know, they're trained for a whole year. You yourself trained for a whole year before you got to touch the mic and go live for, you know, the audience. And now all you have to do is turn your turntables on for 10 minutes with people on social media, whether it be 6 or 7 people, no training needed. And then they put you on that video. And that's fine. I don't have a problem with that, but that diminishes the quality of the person that you have representing this music. And now it's even worse, because all the DJs, for the most part, I don't say all of them, I would say at least 75% of the Facebook Live DJs are for sale. I said that you can talk to someone, they will allow you to put their logo on your logo, and now you can tell them what to play and not to play. And that's never something that I stand for on my show.
No, you really got to protect your brand. You've got to protect your brand. I'm like that with Laughing Latinos comedy. I have people who want to sponsor my shows. If you don't fall in line with, you know, with the stuff I believe in, the quality, you know, and the standards that I hold, then, you know, I respectfully decline. I don't.
So I'm going to ask you, as you being a comedian, not an artist anymore, the question that I always get is, who are you to determine that?
Well, you're definitely someone who knows the music. You've been in this 30 years, you know.
I'm talking to you as a person doing comedy.
Oh, okay. So you're telling me.
So if somebody, what you just said about your standards, if somebody, because freestyle likes to question everything, right? They're gonna be like, who are you to say who's funny, who's not funny, who belongs in your comedy?
I own the brand. I own the brand, and the brand is who I bring, right? So people don't know the comedians I bring, but you know what? My audience trusts me because they know that I won't book a headliner unless I've seen that headliner perform live.
Right.
And they when my standards are simple. I'm a comedian and I can watch comedy all day, and I can watch different comedians and go, oh my God, she's funny. Oh man, he's hilarious. But I didn't laugh, right? Then I see another comedian go up there and he or she is destroying, and I'm laughing so hard that I'm not thinking about my comedy mind is off. It's just laughter. I'm not analyzing the joke. I'm not thinking of how clever the writing is. I'm just laughing like everyone else in the audience. That's the person I'm going to bring to headline my show.
Right. And
That's
so
the
again,
person who will
so
put money in their pocket and rent a hotel room and do what I have to
right,
do to share them with my city. That's how I book. So that's who I am. And
right,
my
and, that,
audience.
and I asked that because people ask the same of me, and it's like, who is he, right? And I'm like, I'm the guy that will tell you how it is, and I'm the guy that can show you how to be successful in this music because I've been in it since I was 16 years old. I was the one getting
You have
stuck into
the
the club.
formula. You have the formula. You have. I'm the guy with the formula. I'm the guy with the formula. That's who I am.
Yeah, the empowerment comes from the people that I've assisted. They trusted me at one point in time when I was starting out to do the right thing, to bring people to see them, to promote them correctly, to get people to know their name, to brand them. Like GA George Anthony. I'm the one that called them GA. Now it's on every shirt, it's on every mug. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that I was able to brand them. I brand people. And I always give them great advice. But in the community and social media, one person's like, oh, he didn't play my song. CPR's a troublemaker. Let's try to banish him somehow. So they work behind the scenes to try to, maneuver things behind the scene. And that's the coward's way because they know they're cowards. And there's one specific person. I'm not going to mention your name because you don't deserve for me to speak on your name, but you know who you are. I said we were on live not too long ago. We broke bread, and then they're still behind the scenes and like, oh, don't put them on that radio station. Don't put them on that radio station, and then laughing about it like like they did something. Like they don't understand. Like I have a podcast, so my show is put on a podcast every week legally with the signatures of everybody who I promote, and everybody gets to hear it whether I'm on any radio station or not. You know what I mean? They have that option. I also have a growing YouTube page. As a matter of fact, my next guest for CPR's Clubhouse Live is Joyce Lamont. So these are people that wouldn't come on my show because if they didn't trust me. You know what I mean? In the future, I'm going to have others. I just had Niasia, TKA. You anybody that is anybody comes to me, and they come to me behind the scenes, and I respect them, and they respect me. The only thing is that the people in the community didn't want to respect my views because it goes against them being stars on social media, and that's not something that's going to go away. I'm still here breathing, and my opinion is going to count. And everybody that read my opinion, except for a few, agreed with what I said. As a matter of fact, people were like throwing others under the bus and sending me information about what they did and telling me about artists who asked for $2,000. And I'm like, that is not the point. The question hasn't been answered yet. And the question is, how many people do you guarantee are going to come to my door if I book you?
Right.
How many? What's the guarantee? And you're right. It is the promoter's responsibility. I've always said it, to get that show to be the show that it should be packed, right? And if I book someone and I pay them $2,000, I'm going to make sure that there's many people in that club, so they drink, so the bar makes a profit. I understand that. But it is also the duty of anybody who loves this music to be able to put their egos aside and think about the long run. Do we want to keep this music prospering? And do you want to be somebody remembered? I can take two artists right now and I can promote them to a point where I put a show on and there'll be interest to come and see those people. Maybe 150 people will show up, maybe 75, but I can build it that way. And then in time, we build it. That's how the artistic phenomenon happened in New England. You know what I mean? Willie Valentine came here. He planted a seed. He traveled a few times, and now he's a megastar here. So don't get upset because somebody put in the work that you're not willing to put in.
Is that
It's crazy.
they don't see that we're in that age of entitlement. We're in that age of instant, gratification, right? It's everything is happening instantly, and then we're in that age of the facade that's created online. So they're creating this facade online, like they're big stars, right? and then they're believing it themselves and thinking they deserve this big star money, but they don't even realize like there's these guys pay bills. There's money involved here. Like I'm not gonna spend $2,000 to bring you over here so I can make nothing or I can make $10. Are you kidding me? The promoters don't own the venues. So it's like the venue may still make money at the bar, but where's the promoter making? I'm the one that brought you out here. Right. What am I doing? What am I making? You know, I got bills too. I got a mortgage. I got stuff to pay for as well. So this is my business. So you're an artist. Your business is making good music, hopefully, crafting a good show, hopefully, and you know, my business is promoting events and bringing quality artists, whether they be in freestyle, comedy, whatever it is. That's my job. So I have my business to run, and I have to make smart business decisions. So that means that I have a certain budget that I know that I'm going to spend on my entertainment. And if you come to me and say, this is my price and it's 4 times my budget, guess what? I'm not booking you.
Right. And they lose that opportunity to be known in your stage, in your area. And some people are like, who cares? Right? Some people are like, who cares? I'll go somewhere else. And that's fine. But you could only go to that promoter. You could only go to 1 or 2 times. Like there's a gentleman in Florida. He owns a restaurant. I hear wonderful things about him. I believe his name is Christos, I think. Does a great job. And you know, I hear so many great things on how hospitable he is, right? But you know, he needs to turn a profit when he puts these shows on, right? And there are a lot of artists that may or may not take advantage of him. And you know, yes, he's very generous and he'll probably not say no to anyone. But there will come a time where he's going to be like, all right, well, you know, I can't do this anymore. Because freestyle artists like to take advantage of situations to benefit them, suck the life out of it. And
it's any artist. It's any artist in any genre.
Yeah, and it's true. And that's the name of the game, right? But also, I implore everyone watching this right now, what are you going to do to preserve the genre? If you're saying, F it, I don't care, I understand. But
that's a good question. But, you know, I hate to cut you off, but the reality is that these artists that you're talking about, are they going to be here next year?
I don't know.
But they trust me, if they're that kind of an artist, if they're asking for that kind of money and they're bringing so that low quality performance and show and attendance and all that, they're not going to last. They're not going to be here. I've seen it. I've seen it in freestyle. I've seen it in comedy. They won't last. So, you know, you just let them do what they got to do. You know what? If you can make that money, good for you.
Yeah, and I completely agree.
I'm going to be making this money for years.
Right.
You're going to be gone next year.
And that opens up for you to be at other venues, which is what's happened with you. You've opened doors for where you started at Main Street, and then you moved to different states. You've gone to different cities, and you've been successful at those cities, and you turned a profit because your name grows, the artist grows, the artist goes with you to these shows, and that's the whole point. If I was able to take a Diddle D or a Mia or pick an artist that actually has talent and they're willing to work with me and say, okay, this is the amount that you're going to get. Let's do some gimmicks for you. Let's make some shirts. Let's make a coffee cup, a hat, whatever. And then that night, you know, sign pictures for $5. You know, let's try to hustle. You know, and it's the pro wrestling mindset, right, that I've always had, because I always compare freestyle to pro wrestling. There are pro wrestlers that will drive 500 miles for $50 in a sandwich, and they want the experience. And that's what the artists that are new need to understand. They need the experience. You may not be new to singing music, because some people are not, but you're new to this genre, and there are steps to any genre you go into.
And merch is important. You gotta have the merch. You gotta have the merch, right? So, you know, you're talking about wrestling. I did a show with Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Right.
He's one of the most famous wrestlers, and you know, and he does a great show. He talks about a lot of the stuff on stories behind the scenes of him and all the wrestlers we grew up watching. and he sells merchandise. You know what he sells? Oh, he gets a long 2x4 and he cuts it into like 12-inch pieces, and he just sells each one. He signs it and sells it, that little piece of wood, for $20 with his signature on it.
What a gimmick!
But it's merchant because that's what he's known for. He's known for carrying that 2x4, right? So now you got a little bit of hacksaw Jim Duggan with his name on. You brand yourself. People are gonna know you for that. They know him for that. Who would have known that just because he walked through that 2x4, that 20, 30 years later, people are gonna be buying these little pieces of 2x4 that he signed.
And so, you know, and when I think about new artists and artists that hustled and artists that knew about the money game, I could only think of one person, and that's the guy that can sell ice to Eskimos, Freeze. Artistic recording artist Freeze is the greatest salesperson, the original, the guy that in the 90s killed it, and the 2000s killed it, you know what I mean? And still killing it, because he'll sell you the same album with a new picture every 5 years, you know what I mean? And you'll buy it because that's how good he is. And so I always laugh at all these people that, you know, feel like they're killing it, you know. And I'm like, have you met Freeze? You know, because
Yeah, they don't know the definition. They don't know. They don't know that, you know, between the internet and the pandemic, so much has changed. There's everybody thinks they're on the same playing field.
yeah,
Everybody thinks they're as good as George Lamont or as good as CKA, and they don't
I'm
know.
gonna go with no on that one.
No, absolutely not. But they think that, you know, even some of the people who are great singers, you know, you don't bring that stage show.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll buy your music, but am I gonna come see you sing if you're just gonna stand there and go, blah, blah. It's not exciting, it's not boring, it's not excuse me, it's not COVID. It's not inspiring. You know, when you hear a song, that songs they make you feel things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially in freestyle, and so you develop an attachment to songs emotionally, and so when you go and you see that person sing the song, you want to feel that inspiring feeling. You want to feel what there's, and if they're just standing there, there's no excitement to it. The human attention span is so short.
Yeah, 3 minutes.
Yeah, and even less. As a speaker, when you're doing public speaking, you need to move. Your body needs to move every 6 seconds. Every 6 seconds. So you imagine some people on stage, just watching people on stage, not even moving.
They go on their phone, you know, real quick. Yeah.
You know, it's so the attention span dies. You know, you got to give them something to look at, something to watch, and it ain't about you being, you know, attractive or whatever, but it's about you showing that confidence, having fun on stage, involving the audience in what you do. Maybe you're not a dancer, but you can be a performer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not just whatever.
I'm sorry. What I also want is that the stop of that narrative of, you know, CPR's hating or trying to tell you what to do or whatever the case may be, or doesn't want to give you opportunity. There's not a freestyle DJ that has given more opportunity to new artists than me. Going back to the Puerto Rican festival with Jesus and Louis, 10,000 people knowing who you are, to the point where I build people's brands, to the point where this man right here is singing All Out of Love a cappella in front of 10,000 people, and they're singing with him, and Willie Valdez in the background beatboxing. Yeah, you can check that out on YouTube. So there's not a person that's given more opportunity. And what steams my clams is the fact that the same people that I help are the same ones behind the scenes saying these negative things about me when they know that I built their brand to the point where now they have a voice so they can poop on me. You know what I mean? So
it is about you helping people. Like, so I get that in common. I get that in common. Like right now, I was just talking about that today. You know, I have a thing where, you know, I'm watching your set and I'm enjoying it, right? You may say a joke, and before you get to the end of your joke, I'm envisioning a different ending. And you ended different. It wasn't bad, but you know, I go and after the show, I pull you aside and I go, yo, I got a tag for you. And a tag is just like an extra piece to put in one joke, right? So it gives you that extra laugh.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and a lot of the comedians that know me call me like the tag man. They know that, yo, you want tags, go to Phil, right? So, you got 50% of the people that'll go, oh, sweat, yeah, I want to hear this. Oh, I like that. I'm gonna keep that. And you go, yeah, I'm giving it to you. That's yours, right? Because it's your joke. I'm not telling that joke in order for me to put that in there.
Right.
So then you got those. Then you got the other half who receive it and perceive it different. They perceive it as arrogance. They go, oh, why you trying to improve my joke? Or you think you're funnier than me? You think you're better than me?
What do you mean? What do you think it needs improvement?
Yeah, just because you think you're doing it longer than me. I'm like, so I'm careful about how I approach them. I'm like, hey, you mind if I give you like I thought of something while you were on stage, and I do it, and I've had a lot of people who have accepted it, and even from new comedians to comedians who've been doing it for 20 years plus. Now, some people will, yeah, oh, that's cool, that's funny, walk away and go, yo, he's a hater, yo. He's over here giving me this, telling me that what I should do on stage. All right, I don't have to help you. You don't have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you do stuff like that, it's just about how it's received and how it's perceived.
Yeah, and don't think that I don't know that people right now who are saying these negative things about me, when Freestyle Fridays Live come around, they're gonna be so friendly, right? Because it always happens. Or when I'm back in the studio live on FM radio on 90.7, and because that's how people in the community are, and I already know these behaviors, and that's why I'm able to speak. You can't ask for that amount of money. And if you do get it, blessings to you. You're not going to get it every time because some people will laugh you out of the building. You could ask anyone. You could ask from the Sal Batellos to Zeke, to anybody. A new artist be like, Joe, Zeke, I need $2,000. He's going to laugh you out of the building. And that's the bottom line.
All right, do 10 shows.
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll give you $2,000, but I'm going to book you for 10 shows. $2,000, I mean. And you got to work for 10 shows. But it's just the way that the world is. I know that there was a people that were set off because they thought that I was talking about Mia and Peter. But I had conversations with them today. I made them understand and I broke it down for them. And hopefully they understand. Like, I'm a big supporter of Mia. I think that Mia currently holds the #1 song in freestyle for 2021 so far. It has been the most celebrated, the most played. And somebody right now will be like, oh, that's not true. It's true. Just like Nelson Rego's Broken is probably right there behind her, or We Were Meant to Be, because I know what I'm talking about. And I've been doing it for a long time. I can tell you what song was #1 in 2011. I can tell you in 2009. I can go back to 2001 and tell you the #1 song was You Are Mine Tonight by Reveal, all them featuring Reveal. And I can tell you all that because it's facts. But, I don't know. I know the rumors that are out there, but I don't care about those. And I don't care what Mia does personally. I don't care what she's doing to get her shows. That's none of my business. What I'm saying is the artist, the new artist, sort of like her, who's new into the genre, not into music, if she would ask for that amount of money from me, I would tell her, well, see me when you're less than that. You know what I mean? And the song is hot now, and you want to hit the iron where the iron is hot now. But I can't pay you more than I pay an old school artist that's actually going to bring the house to be packed. You know what I mean?
Here's what they don't understand. They're in a unique position.
Right.
Because I know comedians inside there, people ask me all the time, what do you charge? There's so many variables to that.
Mm-hmm.
How far do I have to go to get to your venue, right? How many people does your venue hold? What are you charging for your tickets? I'm going to do some math because I want the job. I want the job. I want to go and do the show, but, I want to make a price that's going to make sense for both of us. It has to be a mutually beneficial relationship. I get booked by you, and you make money too. Okay, I'm getting paid because you booked me. You're getting paid because enough people came, and I gave you a price that's low enough for you to come out ahead and profit.
Mm-hmm.
So, and as entertainers, especially the newer entertainers, we have that luxury. It's like you can't go to a job,
right,
and go to a job interview and try to really bargain with them. They have a scale that they're paying, and you have to fall between that. You can try and negotiate sometimes, but you don't ask them how many customers do you have in a year. How many? You don't get to ask those questions. As entertainers, we do. Oh, you're booking a show. Where is it? Oh, it's in a theater. How many seats in that theater? 1,000 seats.
and that's an old school way, and that's an old school way to come up with a price, right?
Right.
Because the legends know, like, if I tell them, hey, it's a 200 capacity venue, what price can you give me? They're like, it's not going to be feasible for me. I charge $4,000. You know what I mean? Unless I'm going to charge, $50 a ticket, and try to get people in there, it may or may not work. And so, legends can do that. Legends can do that. Legends can say, we have different prices for different venues. Legends can do that. Turnier can do that. Absolutely right. But new artists can't. A new artist can tell me, yo, my song was number 1 in your countdown for 5 weeks in a row. I won $2,000 to go to your I'm like, no, thank you.
There was a time where, I used to do promo shows in freestyle, right? I used to do free shows.
Yes.
And I used to go and spend so much money on my outfits. About $100, Timbs.
Urban gear.
We spent a lot of money. And then I go do this show and I didn't make money. And I think, I had fun. But when you think back, like financially, it wasn't smart. Like I just paid you whatever my outfit cost, whatever it costs in gas or whatever transportation to get to your venue, whatever I paid for that hotel room. I just spent all that money to perform at your show. So I came up with a concept of, look, I just want artists to break even, right? If you're doing a free show for me, how much gas did you spend coming over here? Here's a couple of dollars, just so that you didn't come out of pocket.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So let me meet you at zero, so you're not in the hole. And so when I do shows and I produce shows, we have what's called a guest spot. A lot of comedians will come out to watch the show and hang out. And if I have extra time on the show, I'll be like, hey, you want to do 5 minutes up front? And if I ask you to do 5 minutes, if I ask you to do 5 minutes up front on my show, you take it. And if you do well, when the show's over, I'll put money in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
I've put $50, $25, whatever in their pocket. You know what? They weren't there to get paid. They weren't booked on the show.
Right.
A guest spot is a free spot. But I don't like people doing stuff for free. If you're good at what you do, you should always get paid for it. But be smart. Know what your worth is. And not to say that, you're not worth $2,000. Is your show really, is your product, are you ready to compete with those $2,000 artists? No. Are you ready to compete with the Cynthia Dream Girls? Are you ready to compete with you're not.
I just put a post up before this one, and I said big shout outs going out to the artists that actually dress like artists. And I mentioned Cynthia, Lisette Melendez, TKA. TKA always has a brand new outfit every single one.
I'll be wanting to take something like, yo, you ain't wearing that no more. Let me get one of those, yo.
Exactly. Tim Spinning Shomer got a nice jacket, because he want to bring it back allegedly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, right? I'm like, I wanted that jacket, I would have lost weight for that jacket, you know what I mean?
Right. Now I believe the inspiration. That was it.
Yeah. But to wind this down, the things that I say on social media are not slated to hurt anyone. I'm always willing to have conversations with people, nice, clear and concise, direct conversations.
It's because your posts make people think, and people don't like to think. Like,
and that's unfortunate. But an artist should dress like an artist. If you come to my venue and you look like Matthew Jesus, Shadow Man, and you're dressed the same with a Puerto Rican gorilla shirt on, you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? And
keep in mind, there's a thing of starving artists, and coming up, you may not have the money to dress a certain way, but you know what? Like, try. you know, or do
there are
something.
people that are different that make their own costumes. There are people that
I dress different. My shows, I dress for my position, right? If you're booking me to headline a show, I need to dress up because I need to look better than every other comedian on that show,
Mhm.
right? I need to step, and I need to know when I get on stage, they go, oh, he's the headliner. Right? If I'm featuring, then maybe I don't want to look better than the headliner. Maybe I just want to be comfortable, you know. But maybe I'm gonna wear something that's branding me, you know, or my motto, my message, which is keep laughing. So, you know, I'll do that. You know, I'll never wear shorts at a show. Like,
Yeah, I want to see your legs.
no, I don't feel it's professional, you know, and I don't do that. So, you know, there's certain things I do. When I first started, I used to always wear a vest. That was my thing. People knew they remembered me because always a different vest, but it was a vest. They always that's the comedians always, you
For
know,
the
Phil.
Mark Anthony collection.
Yeah, which I used to wear that a lot. Well, you know, like which is Phillip Anthony, the guy with the vest. Okay. So find something that's gonna be you. At least so it's your signature. You know, it doesn't have to be something that costs you $1 million, but it's something they can remember you by. You know,
Yeah,
and
and,
that's
and
what
let's
you
stop
get
the
stage.
notion of every time somebody says something, you're like, who are they? They're nobody. You know what I mean? Look, we've already established that I am somebody because I inspire people to do countdowns. I inspire people to change lyrics in their songs. I inspire people to do many things in this genre of music. And I do it to make it better. I don't do it because out of ego. I don't get monetary compensation for changing your life for the better. You know, I do it because I love to preserve this music and I love the history of it. And
Well, you
that's
know what? How about instead of asking who is that, do some research. I'm sure if they look up Jose CPR Ortiz, they'll find a ton of shit going back 30 years.
yeah.
So you
17
know,
years old. I'm
we
putting
have
this
this
out.
thing called Google, right? You know what I mean? You can find whatever you want. Go on Jose's Facebook and just go back through his timeline and look at the albums he posted, the songs, the countdowns he's done, the artists that he's broken. Like you know what I mean? The records that he's been the one to break on his. Look at that. You know, I'm not gonna who the hell are you and not find out for myself.
My favorite is when people that have never done anything in this genre say, "Who are you?" You know what I mean? And it's like, "Are you kidding?" Like, I know everything about you, but you're making it seem like I'm nothing. And then you
Mm-hmm.
tell other people that I'm nothing and that I'm not
Well,
important because
it's
I don't
easy.
play your
It's
new
easy to
song,
know
right?
everything. It's easy to know everything about someone when there isn't much to know.
Right. You know, but
You
again, and
know,
for the
I know
same,
all about you. One song. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, you know, and for the artists that I say no to, yeah, I said no to this song that you have right now. Did I say to your songs? Did I say no to your songs previously? Probably not. So what I want is for you to have a song that's equal or better than the one that you had before. And I keep mentioning the same thing. And also, I don't care who calls me. I don't care who's in my life, and I don't care how much of a friend or not friend you are. You're not going to tell me what I'm going to play on my show, especially if it's good freestyle quality content. And people can assume whatever they want, but I argue more with my friends than the people that hate me. You know what I mean? Like people get
That's
mad
what
at
I'm
me. Like
saying.
Angel Mena has called me many times threatening me. I'm like, yo, this guy just pooped on you, and they own this label, right? But you're playing their artist. I'm like, yeah, the artists have nothing to do with it. It's not the artist's fault that the label, you know what I mean?
And the song is good.
And the song
That's what I
is good.
do. I
So
play
I'm
good
gonna
song.
play it. You know, and I'll give this example. So if I'm not supposed to play the people that don't like me, right, or the people that I have beef with, then why am I playing Nelson Rego? He's under Frankie Collins' label. You know what I mean? It makes no sense. I'm not gonna digress the music because you feel that I should be a certain way. We tried that already, right? We tried to ban people or whatever 20 years ago. It didn't work because we made things worse. You know, so I'm not here to continue the trend of making things worse. I want to make things better, but I don't want people to get offended with the things that I say. Everything offends people. I put stand up and cheer for me 2 weeks ago. I got a call. It was about me. I talk about anything, you know, the payments,
People need,
there's an issue.
if they want to understand you, they got to watch more wrestling, first of all.
Yeah, exactly.
That shit that you put up and I don't understand. Then I see somebody else post up a wrestling meme and I'm like, oh,
I got it. Yes, yes. Jose, you know.
I get it now. Like, then I call you, hey, that was funny shit, you know. But so, and you gotta understand that's where you come from. You come from that. Like that's like you said, you treat the freestyle world like the wrestling world, and in that it's like wrestling is dramatic. Wrestling is entertaining. You know, these storylines go all over the place, and they've kept people engaged, and they've grown exponentially over the years. You know, like for a reason,
Yeah.
for a reason. So I know that you want to make that same thing happen for this music,
Right.
and you're using the
And
same formula.
people
You're
will listen
using
to
the
me.
same formula. I mean, the formula works. It's a proven formula.
Yeah, my
So
formula is proven.
let me apply it.
My formula is proven. You know, if I were to bring Mia right now
It's Vince McMahon's formula, by the way. Just
yeah, I borrowed that. But if I were to bring Mia to Massachusetts, I put her on stage, people are going to be singing Inside Out because it's in my intro. That's branding.
yeah.
It's a song that I play for 7 months every week. They're going to know that song, right? And you know, there was a couple things that I wanted to say to Mia, but I told her in private. I don't need to say it on social media, but you know, she's talented. She has the #1 song in freestyle right now at this moment. There's not a better song that can top that song so far in 2021. Because don't get mad now after you played it, you celebrated it, you gave it, you know, everybody's flocking to her, right? And now what freestyle does is we'll take an artist, we'll prop her or him up, and then now we want to knock them down. You know what I mean? And that's what freestyle does to every single artist. And now she's feeling it, right? And now she thinks that even the people that are supporting her are attacking her. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate. It could be because of something she did or some assumption somebody made. But
That's just the culture we in, man. Everyone wants to cancel
nothing to
everybody.
do with me. Has nothing to do with me. And that's the whole point. She can call me. I spoke to Peter. I think that the combination of both of them is great. It's unique because he goes on stage with a guitar and he just plays Inside Out, the guitar riff, and then she sings. That's dope. You know, I can say she has one of the better shows in freestyle. You know,
I saw that online. I didn't know who it was at first, and you know, I was like, see, that's dope. Like, you know, you're bringing something that's something I want to book. Now,
that's a gimmick.
I still wouldn't be able to pay you $200 or $2,000. It's not because you're not worth it, but it's because it's not a smart financial decision. I can't get enough people in here that paying you $2,000 is a good business move for me. So let's sit down and negotiate and find a number that works for both of us. Because I know you want to come out here, but I want you to come out here too.
Okay, wait, stop right there. Let's make it clear. We're not saying that she's asking for $2,000.
No, I know, but I'm saying that's
tomorrow somebody will come back to this and be like, you see?
No.
About her, you know?
No, yeah. Okay, let's clear that up. She's not asking for $2,000, but I'm saying an artist like that is someone that comes to me and say $2,000. I'm not gonna laugh at you. I'm not gonna go, you're not worth $2,000. I'm gonna say that won't make sense to me. I really want you to come out. Let's sit down and find a number that makes sense.
I remember when you asked me for $2,000 and I talked you down to free. It was great.
That's crazy.
Listen, I want to thank you so much for being part of this and just coming out with me for an hour to chat.
Yeah.
I hope that there's some clarifications. You know, because it's freestyle, I know it'll get worse, and then somebody will go on social media and start their own post because they're the gurus now of freestyle. Listen, say whatever you want. I'm not going to respond.
This is what I want to say to the artists who are asking for the $2,000. This is from my standpoint. It's not here. We're not here to chastise you. You know, it's ambitious of you to ask for that. But if you want to do more shows and you want to get booked more often, you know, take some guidance. You know, take some advice. Look around and see what the levels are. See where you're at, what that number is, that you're going to be happy with and the bookers are going to be happy with, so they can keep booking you.
Before we go, Stevie B, if you're watching, can you take 2,000?
the number will grow eventually. If you keep doing it, you keep working at it, you'll get to that $2,000. You'll get there. But
yeah, I believe that eventually Mia will get to 2,000, right? Because she'll have the song repertoire.
Right. She's going to grow her catalog. She's gonna keep bringing the if she's already doing shows like that, can you imagine where her mind's gonna take it and things she'll do on stage, and her vocal ability? Bro, she's gonna get there. But every artist grows, and you're talking about someone with a lot of talent. Now, you're someone with less talent, you're asking for that kind of money. I mean, really?
Yeah, by the way, Mia is being used as an example. I already spoke to her today. We're cool. Peter spoke to me. We're cool. There's no issue here. The comment was not about her. Even though some of you people are, were like giving me a bunch of stuff to say, that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to educate. I don't want to be freestyle woke. I want to be freestyle educated.
I think you brought her up because she's one of the new artists, but she's also a very high quality artist.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why we're bringing her up. It's not because she had anything to do with this post, or she was the one asking for it.
We could have used Diddle D. I think he's a star too. I love his voice. He is the freestyle's Mark Anthony to me, because
he's very imaginative. He can sing.
I still don't know why he had a sword on top of the mountain. We gotta still figure that one out. But let me tell you, the end of his new song, you gotta listen to it, is Diddle D, Back Over to You, produced by Julio Mena. But just listen to the last minute of him and the vocals that he puts on that record. Just amazing. His biggest hit for me will always be Into the Night, my favorite. The video's great. I love it. It's peppy. I would, if I was him, I would book him, and I would book the girl so he could do it live on stage. But these are just the ideas that I have for my shows, in the future. But I digress. We got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being part of this. Thank you for everyone who stopped by. I don't care how many people were watching. That's not what this is for. This is to educate the ones that want to be educated and the ones that want to talk about freestyle in this manner. I don't care about any other stuff other than that. And that's what we're going to be doing moving forward. Please check out CPR's Clubhouse Live on YouTube. There's interviews on there right now with Lisette Melendez. Nyasia is also on there. We also have a Tasmania panel reunion with Pure Pleasure, Paynes Gennaro, and also Miguel Reyes Jr. This is all educational stuff. So if you want to learn, have fun, and learn the facts about freestyle, you come to CPR's Clubhouse, and you come to CPR's Clubhouse Live. Thank you so much, Phil.
All right, no problem. Good night, everybody. Keep laughing.